Fuck yeah. I got the main bruh, fucking Michael W. Klein.
What it is.
Pedal master, fucking amp builder, modder extraordinaire. And he's all around cool fucking dude.
Nope. Hard to take compliments. Hard to take compliments, but much appreciated.
Yeah, man. I'm not great at them either. You know that, but here we are. I mean, someone's got to do it. Someone's got to praise you.
Yeah. Yeah.
How are you doing on this lovely Tuesday afternoon?
Good. Good. Tuesdays are my day off at my new job. I work 410s, so I have every Tuesday off. Let's see, this morning I got the kids to school, made breakfast, went to the gym, wrapping an amp up. Maybe this afternoon we'll see. So
Yeah.
yeah, no complaints. No complaints at all.
I love the interior of the room you're in because you got, the foundation basically just exposed like that. That looks metal as fuck, Michael.
Yeah, so this is my workshop, and it is it used to be a garden shed that was attached to the house,
Mhm.
underneath the house itself, that was only accessible from the outside. And I think it was a couple years before COVID, my wife got tired of me basically playing and testing amps and pedals and stuff in the basement,
Right.
and surprised me by having this finished out. So yeah, it's a great spot. It's tight and I'm overgrowing it, but it it works awesome. Yeah.
Tight like prom night.
Something like that.
I told you, man, before we hit the record button, we had to have some fun around here. God damn it. Yeah.
Have you
I'm
been?
stress,
Yeah.
work stress mainly,
Yeah.
here and there. But as far as podcasting's concerned,
Oh yeah.
it's all fun. Some pretty cool guests have been coming. I mean, all the guests have been cool, including yourself. And oh, look at that pretty baby.
Yeah. She was meowing outside, so apparently she wanted to join. This
I
is
think.
Jackie.
What's up, Jackie? Jackie's a cutie.
She is. What's up? Yeah, it's been really awesome to see your podcast kind of grow and expand, but also see you kind of refine kind of
I don't
your
know.
vision and your approach, even though it's probably not something you're actively thinking about.
No, I just kind of try to make things look in a certain way that I would appreciate it. I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, well, you know what? This is kind of like whether it's a social media post or an actual like the production that goes into each episode. I just try to make it a little bit more entertaining from the last.
Yeah.
And because I'm not the brightest of guys, I'll admit that. I'm not the most creative of guys. I just,
You don't
I'm not one of those.
you don't have to be I'm convinced you don't have to be bright or creative or naturally good at anything. I think a lot of it just comes from having like a internal passion
Yeah.
and not being afraid to make mistakes.
Hmm.
And you just kind of keep going and keep learning, and yeah, I mean, I think it's really cool what you've been doing.
Thank you, man, and likewise, because I remember like it was just after COVID. I think I might have shot you my first message,
Yep.
like wanting a pedal from you, and I've made it known, and I'm and I probably did it against your will, but I told people just like how cool of a guy you are because you I let it slip that I was a Marine, and the it was the second pedal because I got the Dybbuk from you first, I believe. I forget how it goes,
Oh, yeah.
but
Was it a pain am I remembering right? A painkiller?
it was a painkiller,
Yeah, yeah.
yes, and I actually like, I was I had all intentions of paying for the shit, and I was like, I want it done in, in the, US Marine Corps, color scheme, the gold, the crimson,
Yeah,
and the
yeah.
navy, and you said, "Well, shit, is it something like this?" And you had a similar pedal, I think it might have been a Lonely Ghost you did for someone who was also a veteran, and I was like, "Yes, just like that." And you were like, "All right, well, I'll uh I'll get a painkiller all, fixed up for you in this color scheme." And I said, "Well, okay." I was like, "How much do I owe you?" And you was like, "Well, how long did you serve in the Marine Corps?" And I was like, "It was 8 years." And you fucking nerded out the goddamn math of like a discount for every fucking year that was I was active, and just gave me that shit for you just gave me it. I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me right now?" And dude, that I think I might have cried that night because you didn't know me from fucking Adam, you know? And I was just totally blown away just by your fucking I'm still continued to be blown away by your generosity and your big heart, and the fact that I get to call you my friend these days is just the icing on the fucking cake.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to publicly acknowledge that, and thank you again.
Well, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I can't remember what all I mentioned, but I kinda dedicated my well, still have dedicated my career towards, veterans, and, I have always had a soft spot for underdogs,
Mhm.
and, my experience with veterans definitely wasn't, like, planned at all. When I was in school, one of my clinical rotations was at the VA in Indianapolis, and it couldn't have been past the second day. It might have even been the first day there. I was just like, I was so taken back by going out to the waiting room where all the patients and family members and friends and all that were, and there were all these fucking people that didn't know each other just talking to each other. And you just don't really see that anywhere. Um, and I was just so humbled by that sort of inherent friendship or family relationship that all
Yeah.
these people had with each other, even though they didn't know each other. And it was just so cool. And then, getting more insight into the kind of experience of being a veteran and the things that were taught and exposed to and things like that. I was just like, man, I think these are the people I want to serve.
Mhm.
And yeah, it's very rewarding, very
Yeah.
rewarding. I didn't serve, I didn't necessarily do anything to like formally give back. But I just think it's politics aside, I just think it's so important that if we're going to make this life work, we kind of we have to take care of each other.
Oh, absolutely.
And
Yeah.
I yeah, so that's sort of kind of, aside from family and friends and shit like that, like that's where I find a lot of kind of meaning and drive in my life is, just trying to make shit better.
Yeah. Well, you definitely do that with everything that you put your hands on. It just seems like, I mean, uh, I follow you on Instagram, obviously, and your personal life. you share, moments with your family and your sons and your wife and your pets, and it's just like it just looks like you continue to just be, the best father you could be, the best husband that you could be, and it shows. It shows in the reflections of your kids as and your wife's smiles, man, in those pictures. So, you like I said, you have a big heart, and it's very generous, and it's very noticeable, and and the fact that you get yourself involved working with veterans, it shows you just, like, what kind of a stand-up person you are, and, and that's why I love you, dude. That's just why I love you,
Yeah, I
straight up.
yeah, I appreciate that. I definitely don't see myself as God, it sounds so cheesy, but like, being in my mid 40s now, I'm learning that like I don't have to exist in the context of like being the best at this or the best at this or really good at this, and
Mhm,
I'm, trying to find meaning and satisfaction in other ways, and like, you know it's kind of made me realize how sort of distracted I've been, um, in the pursuit of like perfection. And I look back at all the time distracted from my wife and time distracted from my kids, and God, decades of being distracted from my own personal health.
yeah,
And yeah, it's just like it's a fucking journey, and I'm, just trying to do what I can in the context that I can. And man, some days go a lot smoother than others. Some days are more
mhm,
successful than others, but
mhm,
that's just part of it.
yeah.
If it was the same shit every day, man, like how much would that suck?
No shit, man.
And like we were talking before we started, like, it's easy for you and I to really get in our head about things, but like without mistakes or failures or whatever you want to call them, there's just like there's so little room for growth or improvement.
Yeah, exactly.
And man, for me, when I'm in those moments, my brain is basically telling myself, you're a failure, it's time to end it all. And man, like I've learned over the decades, like I just have to take the time to step back and know that, the neurochemicals and the hormones and all that shit that are all
Mhm,
ramped up and have me thinking so muddy, that's going to subside. And then at some point, my mind will be a little more clear, my body will be a little more at ease. And then, you can just approach it a little more reasonably. But man, when you're in that moment,
yeah.
it
You
fucking
can't
sucks.
you got fucking tunnel vision,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
you can't see any further
Nothing
than that fucking shit that's, like,
right in front of
uh,
you.
right in front of you, you know? There's, the blinders are completely on. The feelings that you mentioned about is, exponentially intense
Oh, yeah.
with every moment that you fucking sit there in your shit,
Yeah.
because that's where I go to, like, I
Yeah.
do, man.
Right. Right. I like, this, this morning, I knew the, the current amp I'm working on, I'm probably going to start testing today. And like we were talking about, it's just like the same shit over and over, just starting to get in my mind about it, and just creating this completely false scenario. And it's, I went for a run to try to distract myself, and I was fucking obsessing about it the whole time. Like, and it's eventually my wife was like, you just need to finish it, like,
Yeah,
just get in there and work on it.
and
and
you're
and she's right. I think, in those moments, like it's so important to just try and go forward no matter how small those steps seem. Like you just have to take what control of yourself you can and just not let the moment get the best of you and then just make it happen. And
Yeah.
it's so hard sometimes.
Oh, man, like I was telling you before we hit the record button, it was so fucking difficult for me to snap out of it
Yeah.
yesterday. Like, it
Yeah.
really was. I essentially, got out of it, got out of that feeling, and just, like, actually stepped back, fucking, uh, and just said, "You know what? Some shit is just fucking beyond my control,"
A-
you know?
absolutely. And
'Cause,
if
like,
you're a
what if
perfectionist,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
is such a hard truth to realize
Mhm.
is, I can only do so much. And man, it hurts when that so much isn't up to someone else's expectations and you care about those expectations, or
Right.
maybe it's your own expectations. But like, yeah, I, I, I'm right there with you, man. It's
So
a,
what
it can be a battle daily.
Oh god, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's your pace time looking like now? What's your running per mile?
Oh man, it's nowhere what it was a couple years ago. I started.
You're
You
like a
would you would never know, but I started strength training a couple years ago.
you're looking pretty swole.
you don't you don't have to patronize me, man.
I'm not. Hey, look, real quick. I have this every now and then when I know someone is like either this is the shit the deviant in me.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
if I know someone's like working out or are thinking about it or struggling with, whatever, I'm like, hey, I'll ask them like, hey, you working out? And no matter the answer, like they say yeah, they say no, like it shows.
I love that. I love that. I can tell. I can tell. But yeah, when I started doing that, I definitely couldn't run as far or as fast. So
Yeah.
honestly, like what I do now is I just, very lightly jog a couple miles, two or three, nothing much.
Hmm.
Um, and that's good enough. I do kind of miss, like there was probably about a 6 month time where I was pushing myself pretty
Oh yeah.
hard.
Yeah. I
Um,
remember that.
but I I I feel better physically when I'm doing strength training along with like just jogging.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, and that's, man, if there's something I could have told my 20-year-old self, which is, of all the things that I was going to try to help me mentally, whether it's, counseling or medication or addiction or whatever, that what would help me most mentally is exercising. I would have
Yeah.
fucking laughed in my face, but it's the truth. Like
Yeah.
it's it I heard people say it for years, and in my mind I was like, fuck you, you pompous asshole. But
Yeah. Yeah.
man, there's at least for me, there's been truth in it. And as I'm getting older and all that stuff, like it usually helps me quite a bit. But
Mhm.
yeah, my pace is, I don't even know if I pushed myself what it would be right
Probably
now.
still way faster than me anyway, so it's all
I
good.
doubt it.
Bruh.
My cardio's gone way down as I've done weights, but that's okay. Everything's a
So
fucking compromise.
yeah, man. So with the weight training, like, you taking on, like, a lot of protein meals and whatnot and shit like that?
Man, so I didn't do that at all. And
Mhm.
then I got some advice. I took it the wrong way and was doing a lot of like protein supplementation.
Mhm.
And it just made me feel like shit all the
Really?
time. Yes. so bloated and horrible farts and just like just felt awful.
I love it. We're like exactly 20 minutes into recording and we got the first fart
I'm surprised I
reference
made it
here.
that far.
I know, me too.
um so and it was weird, like, not to talk about this part of my life too much, but in I think it was November or December, I was actually putting 4x12 in the trunk of my car and felt something kind of like pop around my hip,
In your back? Oh, yeah.
my by my hip, and it was like, oh, that's weird, and it just never got better, and thought I actually had a hernia because I could feel a little bump there if I laid down,
Yeah.
and I just kind of avoided it for months, hoping it would take care of itself, and it never did. But when that was going on, man, I couldn't jog, I couldn't really walk fast, I couldn't lift weights. Just about everything I did made it hurt.
Yeah.
Uh, and I was scared that if it was a hernia, like shit was gonna explode or something. So, but eventually it was weird. We were on vacation at Arches in Moab and was kind
Yeah.
of,
I was in Utah the same time you were.
oh, yeah, that's right. So, and, farting around on big rocks and stuff. And I really kind of heard it there. And then I noticed someday, a couple weeks later, that I didn't have pain anymore. So, whatever it was took care of itself.
Mhm.
Um, and since then, I've been, pretty regularly exercising about 6 days a week. So,
Look at you, man.
I mean, I've got to. I got to do something.
Yeah. Yeah, right. I'm just I get like because of the whole Wagner's vasculitis thing I
Yep.
got going on, man. I get some serious fucking tendonitis
Oh,
in
yeah.
especially my shoulder area. Like all this, like so if like anything that requires like pull downs or
Oh,
pull
sure.
ups, something, man. Like even bench press, like
Yeah, you're gonna feel like
I'm
shit.
gonna feel dude, like, I was telling my son because like, my oldest son, dude, he is a workout fucking freak. So much so that the kid, he is actually gonna do his best and trying to fucking break the world record of pull-ups. Like, no shit.
Jeez.
I'll send you, his Instagram profile, and, like, the kid means business, and he's on the spectrum. He's but man, like, that it's like his fucking superpower because the kid
Go for it, man.
yeah, he's just fucking pull-ups for fuck like every 10 like he said, "Dad, I just logged 100 pull-ups in 10 minutes." I was like, "What?"
Good.
So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of my son was talking, he's like, "Dad, how come you don't hit the weights as often as you do?" I was like, "Man, like, I would love to. There's
Right.
nothing more that I would love to do than strength train my upper body." But it's like, dude, like, the tendonitis is so fucking bad. Like, I can't even, like, do anything for myself, like, when that soreness kicks in. So, I'm sticking to running. I'll do some stretching, some yoga poses here and there just to gotta keep my body moving somehow
Yeah.
because like we talked about, man, like, it all works in, to your mental health
Oh,
well-being as
absolutely.
well. So
Absolutely. Yeah, and I don't know if you're like this at all, but like, for whatever reason you're not being active or exercising or whatever you want to call it, then again I start to get in my head about it, start
mhm.
feeling bad,
Yeah.
which for some reason keeps me from going out and doing it. And then for whatever reason, I get over the hurdle, go do it, and it's like instantly feel better. And not only feel better in the moment, but like feel better because I know I'm long term doing something that's going to be better too. Yeah, it's it's stupid how helpful it's been for me.
Yeah. So, what was life like growing up as a kid in
Yeah.
Kansas City?
Yeah. So I can't remember if I told you, but I grew up in Kansas on a farm.
A
Tech
farm.
Yeah, technically our farm was where my grandparents lived and our
Mhm.
house was 3 miles away, but our house was still out in the country. I think our neighbor was half a mile away. Um, it was in my I have an older brother and sister that are quite a bit older than me. So I would say a lot of it was isolated.
Yeah,
My friends, they were like 15 miles away from me. And, when you're a kid, that's might as well be
that's it.
400 miles.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, and then, I remember when my brother moved out, it was me and my parents. And I think I would have been like 9 maybe when
Mhm.
he moved out. So it was like a lot of time, at least free time, was in my head. Like, imagining playing things, drawing, playing video games, screwing around outside. And I think that definitely uh, had an impact on my interests now. Definitely, like in my own head, I need other people's company very little. Um, so I, I think the farm part of it I really didn't like at the time, but man, in retrospect, I wouldn't trade that experience for anything. I just
Yeah.
learned so much about uh, kind of the value of hard work, but also gratitude for what you have, and I yeah that and man, just a connection to nature.
So
To
what kind of farm was it? Was it like a cornfield farm
Very
or
small, very small. We had a small number of cattle,
okay.
chickens,
Oh, yeah.
and a couple of fields. Mainly, we were doing wheat and soybean, and then
Alright.
depending on the era, we grew grains and stuff like that. Um, it was very small. It was like my dad's second job. I mean, it was
Mhm.
his second job. I didn't
What wa
understand. What's up?
what was that I was about to ask you, what was dad's, primary job?
He was in the Air Force,
Oh, okay.
and then when he was done, he I might get this wrong, but I think he did welding at a kind of at a plant near the house and farm. And then he sort of worked his way up to being like the shop manager at that plant. And then when I was pretty young, he took a job as a manager at a different kind of manufacturing facility and moved more into kind of like that kind of management role. And he
Okay.
did that for a while, but he farmed the whole time. Um,
So dad was a tough motherfucker.
Mine,
Yes.
yes,
Yes.
yeah. The best way I can describe him was how a college friend of mine described him. He said that if Clint Eastwood and John Wayne had a baby, it was my dad. He was just, and he's almost 80 but still is just like an alpha,
Yeah.
and pretty intimidating and strong as hell. And uh when he was younger, did not take shit from anybody, and was very quick to let people know if he felt like he was being infringed upon.
Right.
So
"Get the
like
fuck off my lawn."
yeah. So like, you know, I think like a lot of people when you grow up, you're sort of kind of like you're frustrated by your experience or maybe your parents or whatever. But in retrospect, it's like, man, I'm fortunate for what I had. It was great. I
Yeah.
have, family that loved me and all that. Like, was it always great? No, but nothing ever is.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, I think the biggest thing about my past that sort of shaped who I am is just like being isolated and definitely going down rabbit holes for just about everything. Whether it was like when I was young, video games or action figures or books or whatever it was. And then I think I was 13 when I got interested in playing guitar. Um, I got inspired by my friend who busted out, I still remember this, he busted out his dad's guitar, which was, those weird Japanese guitars from the 60s and 70s that are really funky shaped and had
Yeah,
weird
yeah.
hardware and pickups
Yeah.
and all that before the Japanese guitars got really, really cool and nice.
Yeah.
It was like that. And then the amp was a little practice amp that had a 6x9 for a speaker, and it was covered in carpet, like the Randall amps and stuff. It
Yeah,
was
yeah.
like this big. Um, and we discovered distortion on that amp after listening to Sabbath Bloody Sabbath, and I was like, "Fuck, this is what I've got to do."
This is where it's at.
Yep. And I remember telling my parents that I wanted to learn how to play guitar, and that was contested quite a bit.
Yeah.
Um, quite a
You
bit.
make some fucking noise on the forum there.
Well, yeah. And, I think at the time there was a little bit of like, that's not what we do in this house kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
And I still remember maybe a couple weeks later going up to visit my brother and sister where they were at for school, and we were eating, and I can't remember. I think it was my dad that kind of jokingly said, "Well, Michael wants to learn how to play guitar." And my brother, who was like a saint in my parents' eyes, was like, "I always wished I would have learned." And I was like, "Fuck yes."
Yes.
So yeah, if he hadn't have said that, I don't know if it ever would have happened. Because he got me in touch with his friend who was selling a guitar, and um, yeah, then it. And I think being in that house, fundamentally, kind of doing my own thing in the basement, I
Mhm.
just got so obsessed with guitar, so obsessed with it, and looking back, I was definitely obsessed with the way guitars sounded. It was
Mhm.
like, riffs were incredible and all that. But if the tone wasn't there, even if the riff was mean as hell, like it didn't hit me the same way. But man, when the tone was there and the riffs were there, I was like, this is everything.
I
And
might have missed it, but how old were you whenever, like, tone became something like of a, of a benchmark for you?
yeah, so like I started to get really, really interested in tone and effects and stuff like that. I probably would have been like 16 or so.
Oh, so just, like, 3 years later, you was
Oh
like,
yeah.
"Okay,
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
these
yeah.
bands
And
the bands play pretty
know,
good, but you know what? The tone sucks."
it was, probably the tism that was like it's got to be this way. This is how I need it. But also at that time, I wasn't exposed to a lot of the underground stuff until years later. So I was listening to stuff like Pantera and White Zombie and stuff like that, who all had like these gigantic guitar tones rather than, demo tapes of some band from Finland or whatever, where everything's like 1K and above frequency wise. But like, yeah, I just got so into it. And then the school I was going to got rid of all their like shop and industrial arts classes, and they replaced it with everything was under the blanket of technology.
Right.
And one of the classes was electronics. And I remember taking that, and the final project was we could pick out something from a catalog to build. And my friend and I picked out guitar fuzz pedals.
Shit, yes.
Yeah. So built my first pedal in when I was 17. I built it in, used to collect like baseball and football cards, you know?
Mhm. Yep.
You remember those clear plastic boxes that you could keep a
Yep.
stack in? They had that
Yep.
weird lip on the side. We
Yep.
built ours into one of those. Um, we didn't think they worked, but in retrospect, I know they worked. They just sounded like absolute fucking shit. And I would give anything to know where mine is, but it's long since gone. But yeah, that's kind of when I started to get into kind of guitar gear and tone, and then really started to rabbit hole into it after I was done with college and had more time and more interest and less money,
Yeah.
which sort of pushed the DIY part of it all. So yeah, I it's kind of weird to think like how it all started for me and why I was doing it. And but it's really I feel so fortunate that I'm even still interested in doing it, and
Yeah.
have now at this point, like met so many people and have had such positive experiences with so many people, and it's generally so much fun. There are times now where it gets really stressful and overwhelming, but it's definitely a good thing for sure.
Yeah, definitely, man, because, I mean, I'm just gonna take it back a little bit in your story. I mean, you're 17 years old and you're DIYing some fuzz pedals, and at that point, beyond White Zombie, beyond, some of the things you got into to begin with, what what were some of the, tones, like, by bands that you wanted to, like, either recreate or, like, even or make it even better at
Yeah,
that age?
yeah. So I was obsessed with Sepultura's Chaos AD. Um,
Rightfully so.
um, just from like a album standpoint, but just the guitar tone still like gives me fucking goosebumps. And so that was always like my benchmark. And I had a couple friends that played guitar, and one played or two played bass, and they were one of them in particular would kind of like tease me about trying to get the Sepultura tone. And I was like, that's what I was fucking trying to do with my
Yeah.
shitty ass stuff. Um, and another one was definitely And Justice for All.
Oh, dude,
Like
very
even though, there's a lot of hate for the production on that album and making fun of how much low end and how little mids there are in the guitars, like, man, fucking shortest straw, like those palm mutes and that kind of little galloping riff in the beginning,
mhm.
like that is still
It's some heavy shit.
ridiculously heavy.
Yeah.
And Master of Puppets was a big one at that time. As I've gotten older, I've sort of grown to gravitate to the tone on Ride the Lightning the
Mhm.
most. And then, like, the guitar tone on Sabbath Bloody Sabbath was, and those are all very different tones, but they were all just like huge to me.
Yeah. I mean, they obviously, no pun intended, struck a chord with you.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Yeah.
and, it's just a testament of, like, how great that production was, you know,
Yeah.
and and the staying power, because I'm right there with you, man. Like, I mean, when I first heard and saw the video for Metallica's "One," I was like, "This is the fucking I mean, at 8 years old,
Yeah.
the heaviest fucking shit I've ever
This
heard, and it's still in the it's in I have the CD, I got it's in the playlist and on all the, streaming, uh, services that I subscribe to, and, and along with that, it's like, whenever I hear it, I think to myself, "How can I capture something so fucking masterful, with my little rinky dink operation I got over here behind me?" And, and so I clearly, I'm not as well versed in pedal building and amplification and whatnot, but, people like yourself, I could see why y'all would wanna, like, reverse engineer that tone
Oh
and
yeah.
do something with it,
Yeah.
in your make it your own flavor.
Yeah. Yeah. And when I think when I started getting more into like modding and then later designing, like, that was the initial motivation, is like starting with this and then trying to refine it. I remember uh, making the realization that, like, was like, okay, so if I get this, then I'll be able to sound like this, like whatever piece of gear and then whatever artist or album. And it never fucking worked.
Mhm.
Never. Not to say any of that stuff was bad, but it just never sounded like how I thought it was going to sound. And that's kind of what motivated me to be like, man, I kind of want to figure out, how do I make these things sound like I want them to sound? And then it was like, then I started going down the path, well, shit, I can't really find anything that sounds like what I want it to sound like. Let's just try going ground up. And
Yeah.
man, it was so ugly and awful at first. But like I was saying before, you just kind of make mistakes and learn and just
Yeah.
keep going. And I'm, still doing that. You know, if I if I built that first fuzz pedal when I was 17, I'm about to turn 45. So that's what, 28 years almost or something.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's a long time. Um,
It is. I keep forgetting we're the same age,
I know.
and you've done way more with your life than I ever could.
That's bullshit. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. Don't you dare say that. Don't you let those words come out of your mouth.
Well, I just did, and we're recording it, so it's out there in the ether.
So yeah, I think I still, with kind of everything I build or design or modify or whatever, I'm still kind of just like learning little things in the process. And
Mhm.
I think that's what still makes it fun. Obviously, building for people is a real trying to think of the word. It's a real gift to be able to do. Like, and
Yeah.
I don't mean I have a gift. I mean someone's giving me a gift by letting me build for them.
But you also have a gift for it too, though. Let's not, be completely, you know, uh, self-depreciating or whatever it may
Yeah,
be.
you know, I I appreciate that. It's
Yeah.
I just do things in a way that makes sense to me, that I've drawn from other people and inspiration.
Mhm.
Like, um, it and it was really weird to see the design come like full circle all these years later. But man, I remember in the mid 2000s, I really started to learn about tube amplifiers and their design and how to, voice things. Oddly enough, from Dumble, those amplifiers, which is very very different sound.
Mhm.
Um, but I was just really fascinated by kind of how meticulous and clearly thought out everything about those amps were from a design and construction standpoint. And um, there's parts of Dumble, like how the amp is built, like is just it's very. I'm looking at it now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's
I figured
very
you were.
like I'm not comparing myself to him at all, but like
Mhm.
anyone that's built guitar amps, I mean, could probably look in that and say, "Oh yeah, I can see that he's built a number of Dumble style amps or something like that." Um, so yeah, I've just kind of, and I, was fortunate to meet some brilliant people that taught me so much about design and voicing and shit like that. But I
Who
don't.
was
Go ahead.
I was about to say, like, who was some of the people that you leaned on in the beginning?
So there, it's still a live website. I don't think they're active anymore, but there was a website called Runoff Groove,
Mhm,
and they what I think was so cool about Runoff Groove is they not only would like post the designs that they made, but also the inspiration for it, why they chose the design approaches. Here's all the math. Here's why the math sounds this way. Here's why the math doesn't sound this way. Um, so, like, for someone that's just trying to learn, it was such a cool fucking resource. And then on top of that, the stuff always sounded cool.
yeah.
So, and I don't remember how, but I'm sure I just reached out, sent them an email with questions about something fucking stupid, I'm sure, and ended up becoming friends with one of the designers at Runoff Groove. Um, and God, just one of the smartest people I've ever met. And just over the years, kind of, got to be friends, but he taught me so much. Um, yeah, he, he is absolutely instrumental in, in what I'm doing. I'm doing very different stuff now than I was then, but the approach and, problem solving and being methodical about every part of a circuit having a specific purpose rather than
Mhm,
this is there because that's what we do and stuff like that. So um that was one. And then man, there's so many websites that I just like inhaled that are still active, like Musique, um, GeoFX, guys like RG Keen and Jack Wortman and stuff like that. And then tube amp websites like Valve Wizard,
mhm.
et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
So,
I asked this because, I'm gonna do a hard pivot from podcasting into pedal building myself.
yeah, you
No,
should.
sorry. No.
If you can learn how to solder properly and aren't afraid to make things that don't work, you can do
Yeah,
it.
yeah. I just I remember, when I went to the Louisiana Air National Guard, because of my job, I had to take a class on electronic principles.
Oh,
And
sure.
I fo and I found it, like, completely fucking interesting of, like, why there's a capacitor here, why is there a relay here, a switch there, whatever, and, like, just tracing the signal path of each of that. So, like, every now and then, I'll crack open, one of your pedals that I got, and I'll think to myself, God damn, man, like it's so fucking intricate and it's so fucking complex in this little circuit board. And maybe I'm overthinking it, but it's like, man, like the amount of, whatever it's distortion or fucking or whatever it is, it's like it's so it's not cookie cutter. Like every, PCB that you have, it doesn't it seems completely different from what the other guys are doing. Because that's I mean, I say that with because one of the last things I saw that Ola England posted was, I mean, he had your fucking one of your pedals
Yeah.
on in his signal chain,
Yeah.
you know. So
Yeah. And that's like that whole thing was a really valuable learning experience for me too. Obviously, like I was exposed to Ola and his videos.
mm,
Like, I mean, it would have been when I was in school in Indiana. So like sometime between 2008 and 2013.
yeah, I think all 3 of us are about the same age.
Yeah.
So
And
it's wild.
and it was like, man, this guy's hadn't seen anything like his videos before, and was really impressed by it. Um, but like how the Ola thing happened, at least initially, was something that I didn't have anything to do with. So I don't know if you remember Condro guitars.
Yeah, I remember Chondro.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. So Randall Pearson, great guy, uh, expressed interest in um, doing building Divics.
Yeah. I remember
And
this.
basically, without getting into the specifics, he had someone close to him that had decades of experience of circuit board assembly in the medical industry and stuff like that. It's like, oh, okay, cool, cool. We ended up doing it, and then stopped for a number of reasons. But Randall actually sent that Dybbuk to Ola without telling me or asking me. Um, so, I mean, it's cool that the response was awesome, but I the pedal community is interesting. I guess like so many very
There's
specific
a
communities,
yeah.
and there was, I think some criticism for Ola having a video of one of my pedals, and some people made comments and all this shit, and I was like, "Fuck, man, I didn't even know this was happening."
Right. What can
Um,
you do? You
but
know?
that was, kind of the business mind of Randall trying to
Yeah.
push those pedals, and I'm not mad it happened or anything. Obviously, it's a really cool thing, but like I wouldn't have even considered doing something like that.
Yeah, yeah. What was the first pedal, that you had put out that you were like, like w I mean, maybe I should backtrack that. When did you decide to make Michael Klein, a brand,
I never
you
did
know?
and still haven't. Honestly,
Yeah,
honestly.
because I mean, it's true though, because like, if you don't know, if no one, like, if any guitar player like out there who plays metal are not aware who you are or how to find you, you never will.
Yeah,
You know,
I
it's
mean,
one of those things.
I don't have a website.
Yeah.
That's by design.
Yep.
Um, I, other than posting stuff on Instagram, like I just, I don't do anything. Um, and I guess maybe that's just like the byproduct of me not really deciding what I'm going to do with this. Like, I'm still fucking shocked that you and I are having this conversation because of stuff that I build.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, I it's just been one like lucky break after another. Uh, just
I
really
I mean,
fortunate things, meeting incredible people that were very positive and generous and supportive. And it's just like I never decided to make it a brand. It's my name.
yeah.
Um, I guess by default it is somewhat of a business, but that was not by design. That was like
It was
a reaction.
it was so crazy how I stumbled upon, your Instagram because one of the first big artists that's not Sammy was Keith Merrow. I was watching Keith Merrow's first his YouTube channel, and how uh, you know I think it was either a Lonely Ghost
Yeah.
or what was the other pedal that you made for him? I forget. It's
Yeah, so it was a modified Chrysogrim.
that's it,
I think
Chrisogram.
he wanted it called the Dusty Skeleton.
Yeah.
Um, and that that the only reason that happened was because he and Leon Del Muerte were friends, and I had built
Hmm.
for Leon. The only reason I had built for Leon was because I had built for the guys in Exhumed, and Leon and those guys are
Yeah.
it's all the same circle. So like, and the only reason I built for the guys in Exhumed is because I was a huge fucking fanboy of Matt Harvey's,
He's such a great dude.
and after a concert in Lawrence, he was walking around, and for whatever reason, I just went up to him and was like, "Hey, can I buy you a drink? I really appreciate you coming to Kansas. I've been a big fan for a really long time." And yeah, because he's such a great guy, we just ended up talking a long time and exchanged emails. And I built him. He had this big idea for a pedal, and I was like, "Yeah, I can do that."
Hmm.
Um, and what he requested was, I'm trying to think when this would have been, maybe 2016 or so. He requested a 2-channel preamp with a separate reverb section, and he wanted a clean channel, and then the distortion channel he wanted it to be from an Ampeg VH140C, and then he wanted reverb. And I was like, fuck, that's a lot. Especially because at that time, I wasn't having uh, the little boards like this. I wasn't
Yeah.
having the boards made by a factory. I was doing those by hand, where you kind of transfer it to a copper clad board and etch
Hmm.
it and then hand drill every hole. It's just very time consuming. Um, but yeah, and because he liked it, then then he and Sebastian asked for other things and asked for something that became Lonely Ghost.
I believe it's Sebastian's birthday today too.
Are
Now
you
I think about it.
serious?
Yeah, sure is. I think I saw a post by Matt. Happy
Well, god damn it. I'm going to have to wish that beautiful son of a bitch a happy birthday.
birthday, Sebastian. He
Happy
probably doesn't
birthday,
watch, but oh
Sebastian.
well.
Love you, dog.
So, and then yeah, from that, I started paying attention, and I went to your Instagram and just started like watching, and then lo and behold, you get involved, with Sammy, and well, before that, it was I think maybe Gary Holt. I mean, people were like just vouching for you, and just going on and on about it, and I was like, and then I went to Sammy's house, and he was like, he just well, he had the live streams as well,
Yep.
and he was showcasing, the sound and everything. I was like, "Man," so I went to his house one day, one weekend, and we were just jamming, and I was like, "Dude, where are you getting that fucking" like, I was just looking at this pedal board, and I was like, "Fuck, that I need one of those," like
Yeah. And man, like, yeah, I'm just so grateful for so many reasons for Sammy. Um, he's obviously just such a great person and has made my life so much better. Uh, but on top of that, he's just been such a hype man for
Yeah.
what I do. And yeah, I still am just like, I just, I, I appreciate it so much. I don't even know how to try to put into words like what it means to me, but like, through him and his reach, that's opened so many opportunities for me. And it's just,
Right.
it's a trip. And when I get stressed with how many builds I have to do, or if something's not working right or whatever, like I really have to remind myself how lucky I am
Mhm.
to be doing all of this. Um, so like of course it has to come with some negative stuff. And that negative stuff is never as big as it feels in that specific moment,
Yeah.
just like
Yeah.
we were talking about.
And it's never gonna outweigh the things that you have positively going for you,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Like, let the people know that it was so funny, and it was another reason why I was trying to get out of my shit. Like, I knew you would appreciate the post that I sent you yesterday. I was like, "You know what? You could be doing crack."
Yeah.
I'm
Right.
proud. I'm proud.
Right. Right. I mean, there's truth in it. Shit.
Yes,
I
there's
mean,
a lot of truth.
still wrestle with addiction. And yeah, I could be fucking doing crack. So yeah, I
You
guess
you and you and me both.
on the scale of things, like, yeah, I I guess this could be worse. And we can celebrate that it's not as bad as it could be.
Exactly. So, you and Sammy have been long, doing this collaboration as far as a Dibic's concerned,
Yeah.
and now you've been doing you do mods for people who are interested and willing to pay you for your services.
Yep.
But now you're gonna have, like, in my opinion, the creme de la creme of fucking, like, amps,
Yeah.
because and I'm pretty sure I heard every, evolution of
Yep.
the amp in
You
question,
probably did.
and, like, and I don't even think I heard the final version that you putting together, but, uh, what you are I don't know why that thumbs up keeps popping up, what the shit? Um, what I did hear the last time I was in Metairie is just nothing short of ferocious and fucking mean,
Yeah.
and together with, like, just a touch of fucking, like, the Lonely Ghost or reverb, it I'm gonna let you talk about it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you hype this thing up.
Well, I mean, as you can probably tell, I'm not very good at hyping myself.
Well, you're gonna do it today, goddammit.
Yeah, so I I don't remember really how we decided to try and do an amp. It was probably just like it'd be fucking cool to do that. And just a second. Um and uh
I thought God
I
was visiting
I
you.
remember he was pretty insistent on me playing through his rig.
Mhm.
And I didn't realize how valuable that was going to be until I did it, because it was very different. And at the time, that's when he was using VMAXs and the Randall 4x12s.
Right, right.
Um, and, me having the opportunity to play through it, especially hear it on a stage and then be able to talk about what he liked and didn't like and all of that, it helped me have a much more defined direction. Um, so I kind of farted around with it mentally and on paper, uh, at least a year before I actually started putting anything together. Um, But yeah, I wanted to do well. One, knew I needed to do something different from a
Mhm.
design standpoint. But two, also wanted to. That's fun. Um, and then just over time, he had the opportunity to take the prototype on tours and get input from the amp on different stages, in different settings, working with different sound engineers, and then all of our tastes kind of morph over time. Um, so, God, it went through a lot, and
Yeah.
I don't mean like huge changes. I think when we started, the the amp that I took to him was probably like 85% where we ended up.
Right.
But to get that last bit took an incredible amount of time and a lot of work. Um, because a lot of the things that he was wanting out of the amp were actually kind of hard for me to figure out how to accomplish. Um, with him and his sound, obviously it's huge and aggressive, but even with that, that huge foundation, it still has such a cutting mid range and a lot of clarity in the high end, but it's never harsh. And that just took a lot of work. But after, I think it was maybe about a year and a half, maybe 2 years of kind of back and forth refinement, uh, we got it. He gave me the thumbs up. But it is, I mean, all just for giggles. This is uh, a chassis of one I'm working on now. I don't know if
Uh-huh.
it'll come through, but the chassis
Lift
itself,
it up a little higher, just a little higher.
the
Oh,
chassis
yeah.
itself is
Yeah.
stainless steel
Mhm.
with welded corners, um, and then custom mercury magnetics transformers, um, made to run KT-77s, which is, we tried a lot of different power tubes and different
I remember
brands.
one of the days that y'all were testing out the tubes
Yeah,
in his garage.
and I started the design started and the output transformer started uh, around KT-77s. Um, and we tried all kinds of shit and ended up kind of back where we started with that. Um, but it is, yeah, single channel. I'll show you the insides. This one isn't quite done, but it's all uh, hand wired, like old,
Mhm.
for example, like the old Dumbles,
Yeah, yeah.
on a board that is a mixture of eyelets and turrets. And what I use on each sort of depends on how much I need to control heat dissipation. I like
Mhm.
to use turrets for things that I want elevated. I want air underneath, but I use eyelets for the rest. Single channel, but with some pretty flexible voicing options. And it is, obviously it sounds really heavy, but what I'm really excited for people to experience when they get theirs is they're going to sound like them.
Yeah.
They're not going to sound like Sammy. And that's
Right.
because of how this amp is voiced. And
Yeah.
that was, I would say, from designing and building, that was the most challenging thing for me to figure out, was not only how to get the amp to sound like how he wanted it, but also how do you make an amp not really do too much to what you're putting into it, but still sound fucking huge.
Yeah, it could have like a more universal sound rather than just what Sammy plays.
It exactly. And if someone gets an amp and it gets in the hands of someone that wants to reverse it, like, I think they'll be sort of surprised how it's very simple, and there's honestly not a ton of tone shaping in it.
Hmm.
Um, it has, I think, from a frequency response and design perspective, maybe, yeah, it's just, it's not a modded Marshall,
Yeah.
and I fucking love modded Marshalls.
Yeah, because I mean, some of the homies here in Lafayette got some modded Marshalls
Oh
from
yeah,
you.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
My boy Sean Evans from Writhings.
yeah, yeah. And those, that's such a cool sound. With a Marshall, you plug into it and it's gonna do what it's going to do. Like with this amp, what's really satisfying for me about it is uh, all those little differences, like string gauge and boosts and pickups and the pop value you have on your guitar. If you've
Hmm.
got shitty cables, or if you've got cables that don't roll off a bunch of high frequencies, like, because of the voicing of this amp, you can hear those differences. So, like, I think for guys that have put a lot of thought into their tunings and the string gauge, maybe their scale length, pickups, like, this amp shows all of that. And that's just because I'm really not doing that much from a frequency response standpoint.
Hmm.
And then the tone controls, the traditional, bass, middle, treble, um, are very weird. And that was just a lot of trial and error and modeling with software, and just him saying sounds like shit, me going back and just figuring it out. But um, where it ended up is really pretty weird.
Yeah.
But it's not hard to dial in. It's voice, so that you can plug in, set all the controls at noon, and rip.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah,
And
it's been a lot of fun to work on these amps. It has not been a smooth process. Well, as I let you know last week,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
um, and I've learned a lot about myself and other people and my goals long term and all that shit, from this process, for
Hmm.
sure.
Yeah.
Um, but I'm excited. I'm ready to get these amps wrapped up. I've have a lot of progress done already, and
The first batch of them was like 15 of them that you're working on.
correct, correct. Um, and I think I may have, if I had it to do over again, I probably would have not done it 15, maybe done 10, but
Yeah.
I got sweet talked going more. And man, told a lot of people no. So, like, I don't know. I think one of the things that's been really exciting for me in this process, and nothing's finalized, but um, starting to talk with a manufacturer here in the United States that I just really respect from a knowledge standpoint, from a design standpoint, from a craftsman standpoint,
Hmm.
and maybe getting a little bit of assistance on the kind of
On the builds.
manufacturing side of things.
Oh, cool.
So uh, we're still working those details out. I'm really excited. I've been super impressed with him so far. Um, but if that pans out, that's just going to open a lot of doors for things that I'd love to do,
Absolutely, man.
and not want to do because I want to make money, want to do because I want to keep trying to find this like unobtainable tone. Try to keep going on the path of perfection.
Right. Right. Uh, so just out of to satisfy my curiosity, what number am I out of 15?
Let me look. Eight.
I'm in the top 10, baby. Not number one, in the top 10. That's a respectable number.
Yeah. Well, and you're in pretty good company. Sammy gets number one,
Of course.
and Scott Hull gets number two.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Pig Destroyer. Hell yes.
Yeah. And man, that's been just, you know, a huge fan of Pig Destroyer for I don't know how
Yes.
long. And just through like one of the most beautiful spirits in the world, Travis. I got to meet him through Sebastian, another one of the most beautiful people. It just like, I don't know if this has been your experience. I can pretty confidently say yes.
Mhm.
But as an outsider, it is so cool how tight knit that community is.
Oh yeah.
Everyone knows everybody, and almost everybody is on nothing but extremely positive terms with everybody.
Yeah.
And it's just like it's
I
it's
go ahead.
kind of like the
I was
veteran
about to say it.
community.
I was about to say it.
It's like you see this like group of people that's just, I don't know, man. It's, and I mean this word, it's really beautiful.
Mhm.
Um, and you know, for guys like me, that music has meant so much to me for so much of my life, and literally gotten me out of some of the worst moments in my life. Like how it's so cool to see that so much of that comes from a good place.
Mhm. Yeah. I mean, some of the most extreme fucking music I've ever heard. And like I remember parents and like people who are not into the same music as we are, like, why the fuck you listen to that shit? Because I know, I mean, over the years, I would learn that that fucking music was a way out of their own head.
100%. 100%. It's if you're someone who your mind is constantly trying to betray you, um, that music is a healthy way to turn it off.
Shit, yeah,
And
that and
I don't know this for a fact, but I've kind of wondered if that's why so many of those guys are also some of the sweetest guys too.
yeah,
Um, just some of the most gentle-hearted people, making some of the most spiteful and visceral art. Um, I think for a lot of them, it comes from that too.
yeah,
So there's like this shared camaraderie in all of it. That's just, I again just feel so fortunate to be a very, 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 very small fraction of a small part of.
yeah, yeah. You and
Um,
me both, man. Because as a teenager growing up in South Louisiana, I mean, like, talking about Sammy and Acid Bath and Solid Green,
yep,
I just looked at those guys on stage. I saw pictures of them in magazines, like, man, or whatever it was, and they look so fucking intimidating and mean and so unapproachable and shit. And then like I remember when I got to know them, I was like, oh wait, you're into Star Wars too? Fucking A, man. Or in our case, fucking He-Man. You know what I'm saying? You and I want to ask you, like, have you seen anything new related to the He-Man universe, like the Netflix series and shit like that?
So I watched both seasons of the God. What was the name of the new animated series that had? Was it Mark Hamill as
Yeah.
Skeletor?
Right. Right. Yeah.
So, and that series, man, got a lot of hate and criticism. And like, I'm just sitting on my couch, fucking loving every moment of it.
Same here.
I think I have such basic ass expectations of that kind of stuff that if I smile or I'm entertained or I'm not checking my watch to see what time it is, it's
It's a
great.
good day.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good time.
And I was very happy with that. Same with like the my one of my favorite game series is growing up was the Castlevania series.
Oh yeah, the
And
Castlevania anime series on Netflix.
it's real good.
Fuck it, it's so fucking good. It's
It's
so
real good.
fucking good,
So
dude.
like I I think there's purists and critics that are like, yeah, no, it's real fucking lame. It's not as good as the stuff was back in.
They could eat a
It's like,
dick.
okay, that's fine. I've got one shot at enjoying much of anything. I'm not gonna go into something thinking I'm not going to enjoy it more
I think I
often
might.
than not.
I think I might have asked you before we're in person, but were you ever into Voltron?
So I caught the tail of Voltron.
Okay.
They one of the stations where I grew up played Voltron around the same time that they played He-Man.
Okay.
Um, but I don't remember much of Voltron as a kid. Now I've watched it since and love it.
Mhm. Oh,
Uh,
it's fucking amazing.
yeah, yeah.
I bring up Voltron because a lot of shit is getting revamped, remade, or reimagined, if you will, from the '80s, from our time that we were
Oh,
kids,
absolutely.
and everything that we hold true, and one like fucking Highlander movie coming out with Henry Cavill. I feel like Henry Cavill is probably the best celebrity nerd out there because this dude, I mean, not only, I'm not afraid to say it. The dude's handsome. Dude's
Oh,
fucking handsome.
yeah.
Very lovely guy.
We can acknowledge a handsome man.
And the thing is that homeboy, he is he did Witcher with Netflix. He
Okay.
fucking he loves Warhammer shit,
Interesting. I
and
wouldn't have
and
guessed.
so and like now he's doing the Highlander movie. He's they're in production doing that shit, and he's also signed up to do the fucking lead in fucking a live action Voltron. Yeah. Just found that shit out last night.
A live action Voltron could be pretty sick.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's one of the few cartoons from that era that I can see actually making a good movie.
And we just totally crossed over into nerdum right now on the podcast. I don't care.
Yeah, I'm in nerdum every waking moment of my life. I don't know any different.
Mhm. Just lost my pen too. Getting so excited. Talking about Voltron and
Yeah,
Henry. I don't know
start
what did. I
throwing
don't know if it was
pins
Henry.
into the
I don't know if it was.
drywall.
I don't know if it was the excitement of Henry Cavill
I mean,
or
I mean, he'll do it to you. He'll do it to you.
and follow-up question on He-Man universe. How many guitars does Michael Klein have that's in Skeletor purple?
That's an interesting question. I have right now one, and it's not not like outright Skeletor purple. It's actually flip flop.
Mhm.
So depending on the light, it's like royal purple or royal blue.
Okay.
I've got a mockingbird in that. But I have something on the way coming from, and I'm so excited about this WKM.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I just got mine in
Yeah. Uh,
from Kyle.
and it is the most purple of purples I've ever seen. Um, I picked out that paint from a paint huffer makes it,
Mhm.
and picked it out from an Instagram reel they posted. I was like, I saw it. It's like, fuck, I got to have this. I don't know if you saw I think he posted it maybe 3 weeks ago, maybe 4 weeks ago, a build he's working on that he put a German carve on it. I can't,
Oh, yes.
I don't
Yeah.
know what he calls that model. Um, Somewhat well, it's the same body shape as yours.
Oh, the xenon.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Uh, and the reason I wanted to do some type of carve top, one is because I love the way they look, but two, that paint's going to look
It's gonna look sick.
ridiculous with that. Um, so yeah, I had a totally Skeletored out ESPM2. Um, I sold it not because I didn't love that guitar, but I was at a, as the times happen, sometimes you have to thin the herd for various reasons, and that was one of
I'm right
those.
there with you.
I'm in the process of that right now. About uh, just sold a 50-watt Marshall JMP to Taylor Young, again another just amazing person. Um, and I'm about to sell or trying to sell a Skirvison and then a 1983 Gibson E2 Explorer CMT,
Mhm.
because I've got to make some investments in to get these amps completed.
Yeah.
So, um, but yeah, I the WKM is not going to be obviously Skeletor, but I'll know in my heart where the inspiration came from.
Shit, yeah. Are you doing any kind of special inlays for it?
Uh, I wanted to keep it real simple. So the inlays are diamond inlays, but it's
Okay.
actually just the outline of the diamond, and they're
Uh-huh.
purple.
Nice.
Yeah. But the sides and the back and the neck and the back of the headstock are all going to be natural. I'm a big, big, big fan of natural wood on guitars. Um, and Kyle had
Sense.
the cool idea of,
I love
yeah,
how Nick did that, the five-piece neck on
yeah,
there, and
yeah, I'm all over that. And Kyle had the cool idea of going with a real aggressive color on top and then natural everything else. I think it's going to be sick.
I didn't wanna break that. Which is not
Nick would be pissed.
Oh, Nick would be so mad, like, "Dude, what the fuck? Now you got to ship it back." That motherfucker, man, he's putting out some wicked ass color, finishes on his
Yeah.
guitars, man.
Yeah. You know, it's, we're at a very cool time in guitars and pedals and amps.
We really
Like
are.
there's so many super talented guys that are building these incredible guitars and incredible pedals and incredible amps. Like,
I mean,
you know,
something like this, if I would've ordered that from, Jackson Custom Shop or ESP Custom Shop, that you're looking at about six to $8,000, I think.
oh, probably more like 10
That's what I'm saying,
currently.
I'm
Yeah.
undervaluing it apparently.
And then on top of that, it would be 2 to 3 years at
Mhm,
least.
mhm.
And then you wouldn't have any correspondence with the person that was actually building it.
None whatsoever.
And for me, man, that's so cool to be able to get those experts kind of input, because they know what'll work and they know what won't work. So to be able to, my dear friend Danny Corwin from Corwin Guitars. Actually, I gotta show you
Also, another really good builder in his own right. Holy shit.
I gotta show you this. I don't know if it'll
Oh,
come through,
shit.
but Danny just built me this. His company's Corwin.
Uh-huh.
This is Karina. Technically, it's Black
Yeah.
Kalimba, but it's not coming through. But this shit is actually flamed.
Oh,
All of it.
wow.
The body, the back, the neck is all flamed. and we
It's
had never seen black limba like that. And I have always been obsessed with the Explorer shape. So we did our take on like the old uh, 58 Explorer.
something wrong with me. I'm slightly aroused right now.
No, there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong. And like, Danny's just, he's such a great dude and so talented. And he's one of many just super talented builders,
Yeah.
um, where you also get to kind of pick their brain and get their expertise. Um, Rob at RIP.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Right next door to Nick in Ogden, Utah.
and then the I can't remember his first name, but the abhorrent guitars, those look just incredible.
Oh, those are yeah.
And amp wise, man, I'm a huge fan of the Dean Costello Heavy Metal Warfare. Such a cool amp. Everything I've heard about the new Licklerm amp is incredible. Shay at Monomyth does some of the coolest kind of martially, but super tight, thrashy kind of stuff.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, and pedal wise, there's just like so many great dudes making great shit.
Which which, uh which guitar and which, like, stacks are your go-to to just fucking riff out, just kinda, get your mind away from building? Like, what are you going to?
What I usually pick up actually, and I wouldn't say it's my favorite or my
Mhm,
best or anything,
mhm,
but I usually pick up my I have an 80s Greco Les Paul custom style.
mhm.
Um and man, I'm always just plugging into the amp I designed with Sammy.
Nice.
If I want to play heavy, everything, there's obviously so many different cool flavors of heavy, but like that's
Yeah,
my
same here.
personal flavor of
I
heavy.
I I
So when
like
I plug into it, if I compare it to something else, as much as I love and respect the other stuff, I'm like, this is me. So
yeah. I like playing an amp or a stack that has, like, the fucking balls,
yeah,
like that low end, and, like, the mids aren't scooped, but they're there, and, like, not a whole lot of high end for
yeah,
any like, not a whole lot of treble, man, and just fucking just get the palm
the
mutes fucking
chugs.
just active just yeah, just
Yeah,
chug the fuck out of that
yeah,
shit.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So I also have a real soft spot for the JCM 2000 Marshalls. I know a lot of people hate on them, and I guess I am fortunate because you know I can change what I don't like about them.
Mhm.
And they definitely had their reliability issues, and I've worked on more of those than I care to admit. But like, man, when they're healthy, those amps fucking rip. You put a
Yeah.
good pedal in front of them and plug them into a good speaker cabinet, and they rip. Um, but there's a number of amps I would love to own at some point, but I don't see that day happening anytime soon. But yeah, I think if I'm wanting to riff out, I'm plugging into the amp that I did with Sammy. Um, he has uh, an amp that I built for myself. Oh, probably over the course of 4 years, but finished it maybe about 5 years ago.
Mhm.
Um, that would be my number two. And if I decide to do another amp run, it will be based on that amp.
Based on that one?
Yeah.
Nice.
But we'll see. One thing at a time. I mainly just want to keep having fun. And
Yeah.
if it stops being fun, I won't do it.
That's that's the that's the key right there. If it's not fun, then why keep going,
Yeah.
man? I
What
mean,
about you? What's your go-to?
well, lately it's been the Hellbent,
Uh-huh.
and I've been playing. I actually sold Nick my HMW
Oh, really?
because I did, and because I sold it to him because I want more of his guitars.
That's a reasonable
and
thing.
it, and you know and in
Dean's
and
still going to be building heavy metal warfares like
exactly, and just knowing that I'm in the I'm in the cut for getting the amp that you're building for me.
yeah.
So I figured I as a player, I'm not in a band. I can't justify having two fucking beast of an amps, just sitting around.
I know the feeling.
So so um, I sold him the HMW, and so I'm playing through this this Marshall 20-watt
Mhm.
DSL for now through my little Mesa Boogie cab,
Mhm.
um, and but that's like pretty much backup purposes. But like I have a Seymour Duncan Power Stage,
Oh yeah.
and I have a Neural Quad Cortex
Uh-huh.
that I play in front of two Emperor cabs.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Nice.
I and the a 2x12 that has some DV77s, and the 4x12 has some Weber Grey Wolves
Uh-huh.
with another pair of DV77s, and it sounds like fucking beast straight on beast mode, man.
Yeah.
If I say so myself,
Yeah.
like I'm like, so I can't wait. Like whenever you say, "Hey Mo, here's the balance. Here's it's ready to ship," be like, "Fucking a, let's go."
yeah, and they should, I don't know if the head cabinet thing's going to delay things or not. But if it doesn't, I'm I mean, I think it's still going to be what I estimated, which is September.
Yeah.
And if not, I'll obviously let you know. But a number
Oh
of
man, look.
things sort of happened in the between when I took orders and
Mhm,
now that have made things take longer than they needed to.
mhm.
But they're man, I'll die before people have to wait on them unnecessarily.
Yeah, I mean, I'm obviously, dude, I am not. I didn't say that because to put you on a spot or anything like that,
No,
but
no, no.
I
I didn't think it that
I
way.
know it's gonna be a fucking beautiful amp. I know like you're putting your heart and soul into this.
Literally.
You literally would not be as stressed out as you are, for doing the type of work that you're doing. So I could wait, man. I'd rather wait than cause
No,
any more headache or stress or anything like that.
no,
On a personal level, because dude, you on a personal level between me and you, you've done so much for me. I'm not gonna be like, hey, Mike, where the fuck is that damn amp? No,
yeah,
no, 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 no,
no,
not
and
not my style,
yeah,
and not to you.
yeah, and I let everyone know kind of what the situation was with the head cabinets and that, and man, every single person, man, I yeah, I don't want to get emotional about it, but every single person was just so understanding and gracious about it. Uh, Not a single person was anything but do whatever you got to do, man.
Yeah,
Don't worry. And like, again, just like very, very appreciative of everyone's understanding that I can't control everything.
yeah, dude, yeah, exactly. So
yeah.
before I let you go, because I'm very curious about what makes you tick.
Oh,
What albums are going with you when that God forbid the fucking house is burning down, but you gotta take 6 albums with you. I even since it's you, I'll let you go 10. I'll give you 4 more. That way, it
Okay.
helps with the thought process.
Okay. Some of them are probably going to surprise you.
I
Uh,
like surprises.
so the first one that came to mind, uh, I think popped up first just because I've been listening to it so much lately, is actually Alice in Chains' Jar of Flies.
Dude, I love that fucking EP.
Man, Nutshell.
Yeah.
So that's one. Um, let's see. Trying to think of the LPs. Got to do Chaos AD.
Mm.
Um, Rain and Blood. Master of Reality. What is that? Am I
That's
at
4 already.
4?
That's 4 you got off the
Okay.
rip right there.
Ride the Lightning.
5.
Uh, John Schofield, A Go Go.
Mm.
Uh, John Schofield is one of my favorite guitarists. He's just fucking genius. And that album, I think it came out in the late 90s, is just like a goddamn masterpiece. Um,
You wanna keep going? You wanna stop? Because that's your 6 right there. I don't know if you wanna keep going or not. It's up to you. No pressure.
oh, I mean, I could easily fill it. To
Let's go.
Megatherion.
Oh, there you go, baby.
Um, I'm trying to think of ones that are like, because I would put my life
At risk.
at risk for sentimental ones. Um, Paul's Boutique.
Dude, hell yes.
Um,
Hey, ladies.
yeah. And uh, Blood for the Master.
The homies.
And let's see, is that 8?
That's 9, buddy.
9? I'm stuck on 9. Because
Hey,
the ones that are coming to mind, I'm like, man, I think there's got to be one more.
yeah, yeah. But 9 is a very solid number. I mean, shit, you could think of 9 that's going with you in a situation like that.
Yeah,
Hey, bro.
that I would lose an arm for.
Shit, yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Uh-oh. He's got a
yeah,
thought.
yeah.
Oh, shit.
Slaughter Cult.
Slaughter call, baby.
Yeah,
Boom.
and that was an album that I couldn't like find a physical copy until they repressed it. So that especially because yeah, Matt sent it to me. But anyways, yes,
Let's
that
bring
would
it
be
let's
number
let's
10.
bring it current, man. What is something that you're digging into right now that's just like keeps the workday flowing for you whenever you're building amps or pedals?
Yeah, so you know, I tend to when I'm building, I actually will pull up videos of video game speedrunners and
No
just have
shit.
that on as background music.
Yeah.
Um, if I do listen to music, it's usually old jazz or
Some
like
smooth
Stevie
jazz.
Wonder. I was listening to songs in the key of life. Um, if I'm doing pedals, which are a little more automatic for me, I can listen to
Mhm.
whatever I want. But for amps, I've got to set the mood a little more.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
I just have to be, or don't have to be, but I try to be meticulous and intentional with every single, whether it's a solder joint or lead dress or whatever. Like I just want it fucking right,
There you
and that
go.
I have to proactively get my mind in that headspace for that.
Oh, one more question for you
Okay.
before I let you go. Whenever you do find, because I know you're a busy man. I know you have you have the family, you have the all the builds going on. But do you ever decide that what you have a riff idea? Do you just sit back and record some of the stuff?
I used to.
Okay.
Um, since I've moved my kind of building and guitar area
Hmm.
into the room that I'm in now, I haven't.
Yeah.
So that's something that I've wanted to get back into. The but like you said, or at least the excuse I keep using is I don't have the time.
Yeah.
But I think it's at most just that excuse. Like I could make the time for it. I think honestly, what's probably keeping me from it is a high level of self criticism. Um, when I was recording, I wasn't nearly as self critical. But I think that's just kind of where I'm at these days. Is very, very critical of what I'm doing and all of that. Not necessarily in a negative way, but in a really just kind of going after it. And I
Yeah.
think that's probably subconsciously why I'm not doing it. The more shallow reason is it's hard to make the time for that because it's taking from other things and I've got it pretty like regimented for how I can use my time at different days, different times of the day and all of that. So
Well, I'm definitely thankful that you were able to cut, a little over just under 2 hours for this.
my pleasure. And man, time wise, it worked out great because I'm about to go pick up my sons from school. So yeah,
There
like
you go.
this is my pleasure. Always, always so wonderful to get to talk to you and see you. Definitely looking forward to hanging out the next
Likewise.
time.
Yes, definitely, man. Let me know whenever you coming down,
Okay.
uh, because I'll have the boudin ready for you, or
Some of those cracklins too.
the cracklins. I
Uh,
got you covered, baby. I got you covered
I'll put on 10 pounds in 3 days.
easily. We both will. We both will.
It'll be worth it.
And hopefully you come down. The next time I see you, it'll be either in the middle of fucking crawfish season or the beginning or something,
Is
because
that late spring? Is that right?
crawfish season is gonna start up around, December, and it
Oh,
run yeah, and it runs through, or even, like, sometimes at the earliest of, like, maybe late November, and, uh, and
wow.
it will run through, like, beginning of June.
Wow.
Yeah, but then, I don't know if you saw this, I don't know how much I posted, but I boiled some crawfish in the Pacific Northwest for a certain vocalist that we both know.
Oh, how did that turn out?
Fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Fucking
I'm sure
amazing.
you know your way around a boil.
Hey, man, that's one thing I can hang my hat on. I might not know pedal building or even write or playing guitar, but I'll ball some fucking crawfish for you.
And that, God, what an important skill to have. Man, my first official boil down there, oh, still,
I'll never forget it.
I mean, I won't. I literally will never forget that. Just one, how much fun and how cool it was, but also probably the single best meal I've ever had.
I need to dig up the video from whenever, I brought over the boudin for you, and you took that first bite, and
Was
you were
it
just
Ben
like,
that recorded it,
uh
or
I
you
did,
recorded it?
and Ben was, standing next
Yeah,
to you.
yeah. I'd never had it before, and then yeah, one bite sealed the deal.
That's it.
Magic in a casing.
I don't think have you tried the chicken crackling yet? So they
Mm,
got, they got the pork crackling, that's
right?
that's 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 really popular, but, like, there's also chicken crackling that we got down here, and holy fuck,
I've
it's
never
so
heard of
good.
that. So is it the chicken skin?
I think it's a combination of the skin, a little bit of a little bit of the meat as well.
And just
It's
fried to
good though,
shit.
man. It's good. It's it kinda reminds me of like an overdone chicken tender, but it doesn't taste burnt. It doesn't taste burnt or anything
No,
like
I
that.
I got you. I got
It's just
you.
so fucking good.
I got you. Yeah, I'd definitely be down to try that or a
Hell yeah.
pound.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Well, shit, brother. If I make a drive up there, I'm definitely bringing
Always
some in tow.
welcome. Always welcome, man.
Appreciate you, brother.
All
Well,
right,
look, man,
appreciate you.
this beautiful man, Michael Klein, if you want to get a hold of him, get some of his gear, you won't be fucking disappointed. If you know, you know, contact him via Instagram or an email, whatever he has posted, and he'll get you fucking squared away. Thank you again, brother.
Hey, thank you, man. Take
You
care of
got it, man.
yourself.
You too. Go get those kids.
Yeah, I will.